right, this is a very musical service. I'd like you to join me in a hymn. It's hymn number 83, if you happen to have a hymnal with you. The words will be up, and it's going to be led for us by the Wailin Mahalias. And I would say, probably this is a good one to stand up and sway to if you're in the mood.
Winds be still, storm clouds pass and silence comes. Peace grace this time with harmony. Fly, bird of hope, and shine, light of love, and in calm let all find tranquility. Bird, fly high, lift our gaze towards distant view, help us to sense life's mystery. Fly high and far and lead us each to see how we move through the winds of eternity. Light shining, illuminate our inward view, help us to sing with clarity. Shine bright and true, so we may join our songs in new sounds that become full symphony.
Our reading this morning comes from Dr. Rachel Naomi Remen, who is a nationally recognized medical reformer and educator who sees the practice of medicine as a spiritual path. Real stories take time to be heard. We stopped telling such stories when we started to lose that sort of time, pausing time, reflecting time, wondering time. Life rushes us along, and few people are strong enough to stop on their own. When we haven't the time to listen to each other's stories, we seek out experts to tell us how to live. Reading such books is a very different thing than listening to someone's lived experience. Because we have stopped listening to each other, we may even have forgotten how to listen, stopped learning how to recognize meaning and fill ourselves from the ordinary events of our lives. We have become solitary readers and watchers rather than sharers and participants. Hidden in all stories is the one story. The more we listen, the clearer that story becomes. Our true identity, who we are, why we are here. What sustains us is in this story. The stories that we tell are about the same things: stories of owning, stories of having and losing, stories of sex, of power, of pain, of wondering, of courage, hope, and healing, of loneliness and the end of loneliness. Stories about divine mystery. In telling these stories, we are telling each other the human story, stories that touch us in a place of our shared humanity, awaken us and weave us together as a family once again.
We have some special music for you now. One Voice by Ruth Moody of the Wailin Jennies, performed for us today by the Wailin Mahalias. This one, I invite you to just sit down and listen and take it in.
This is the sound of one voice, one spirit, one voice, the sound of one who makes a choice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice.
This is the sound of
Voices too.
sound of me singing with you, helping each other to make it through. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices three, singing together in harmony, surrendering to the mystery. This is the sound of voices three. This is the sound of voices three. This is the sound of all of us, singing with love and the will to trust. Leave the rest behind and we'll turn to dust. This is the sound of all of us. This is the sound of all of us. Ooh. This is the sound of one voice, one people, one voice, a song for every one of us. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice.
Sharing such music is certainly a gift to the heart. Thank you. And it beautifully sets us up for more listening from and to the heart. Let's briefly revisit my favorite phrase from the reading that I just shared. Hidden in all stories is the one story. The more we listen, the clearer that story becomes. Our true identity, who we are, why we're here, what sustains us, is in this story. Many of you are familiar with our program of small group ministry that we call Chalice Circles. Within our circles, this idea of uncovering the one story by listening to diverse stories is often a very illuminating process. Every now and then, participants marvel at just how much our stories are interrelated and intertwined. The words to one of our popular hymns describes this so well. When we tell our stories from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. So what I'm saying is the words in the hymn are not just a metaphor or about a possible future. They are an experience that circle participants come to rely on. The Circle's spiritual practice is an example of a powerful form of deep listening. In our practice, we work at receiving the voices of others in the silence of an open heart. And I'd just like to add a note to clarify that. In this case, our hearts mostly do have silence because they're not filled with questions or advice or judgments. This is not an easy thing to do, so that's why we work at it. Month after month, year after year. So this listening with an open heart opens us to hear also our deepest self and the deepest self of others. We also discover how to hear our own voice as we grow confidence in the speaking of our truth. Then there's also another kind of listening we call reflection or contemplation, in which we focus on the monthly theme to look at our experiences. And over time, this leads us to grow a spiritual discernment and a deepening gratitude for all that is around us. All together, we consider how our experiences are important, and how we share a common humanity with all others. As part of this, we also practice the art of making a welcoming space. In addition to the heart listening, there is a related perception that's called heart seeing. From the book The Little Prince, we have the very famous quote, "It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye." In the book, this quote highlights how understanding can be very limited when we rely on what we find in the visible surface of things, the visible surface of relationships. Deeper and more meaningful connections become apparent when we move beyond these superficial judgments, when our perception comes from a more spacious welcoming. Just like heart listening, heart seeing, heart listening. All this may sound a lot like a huge promotional advertisement for our Circle program, which I guess can also be true. However, what I have always found genuine and visionary about our listening circles is there is a powerful underlying component of activism in the outcome of the circle practice and its naturally arising potential. Deep listening is a key component, and that's the skill that really takes practice. But ultimately, from learning to offer our silence to receive others, we learn to offer silence to ourselves as well. This kind of transformation is strengthened and illuminated from our time together, and also it becomes an opportunity to develop the radical love that is so deeply needed in our world. Excuse me. This form of activism is underscored by these words of Dr. Raymond again. Listening is the oldest and perhaps the most powerful tool of healing. It is often through the quality of our listening and not the wisdom of our words that we are able to effect the most profound changes in the people around us. When we listen through our attention, we offer an opportunity for wholeness. In our listening, we can create a sanctuary for the homeless parts in another person, that which has been denied, unloved, devalued by themselves or by others, that which is hidden. In our own culture, the soul and the heart too often go homeless. Listening creates a holy silence. When you listen generously to people, they can hear truth in themselves, often for the first time. And in the silence of listening, you can know yourself in everyone. Eventually, you may be able to hear in everyone and beyond everyone the unseen singing softly to itself and to you. I find Dr. Raymond's words beautifully inspiring. Words that are full of hope. When we look at the world around us and see all the polarization, the fractured communication, the anger, perhaps we can now bring some heart listening and heart seeing into taking it all in. Maybe all the anger and brokenness is arising from hearts and souls that have been left homeless. As people of faith, it is my deepest hope that we can fortify our own hearts, our souls, to feel so welcomed and secure in life that we can strengthen ourselves, and from a heart-listening community, we move into ever-widening circles, offering shelter by offering heart listening and holy silence to the whole hearts and souls of those who feel denied, unloved, unvalued by themselves and by others. May it be so. May we take part in making it so. We will now have a musical meditation to bookend the thoughts on deep listening. The Wailin Mahalias will play for us Teach Your Children, written by Graham Nash.
You who are on the road must have a code that you can live by, and so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. Teach your children well, their father's help did slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams, the one they picked, the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you you would cry, so just look at them and sigh. And you of tender years can know the fears that your elders grew by, and so please help them with your youth. They seek the truth before they can die. Teach your parents well, their children's hell will surely go by, and feed them on your dreams, the one they picked, the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you you would cry, so just look at them and sigh.
Thank you so much, Emmy and Wailin Mahalias. That was a lovely message. Each week, as we worship, we welcome the offerings to support the work of community. Many of us have already given our monetary gifts electronically. Still, we set aside this time for the spiritual practice of gratitude. If you're new to Tree of Life, please let this giving opportunity pass you by. Your presence here is your gift to us. And as is our custom, one Sunday each month, we donate all of our non-pledge offerings to an organization whose work reflects our Unitarian Universalist values. This month's organization is the Environmental Defenders of McHenry County. And we welcome Erin Kennedy, and she will tell us a little bit about the work they do.
Good morning. My name is Erin Kennedy, and I'm the Director of the Environmental Defenders of McHenry County, and I'm just happy to be back here at Tree of Life, so thanks for having me again. For those of you that might not be familiar with the Defenders, we are an environmental nonprofit with the focus of protecting and preserving the environment here in McHenry County. We've been around for 54 years. We were started by a group of concerned citizens wanting to protect the unique landscape that we have here in McHenry County, and I think 54 years later, we're still true to that mission. We have a very small staff. We highly rely on our members and then also our volunteers to do our work. The way the Defenders is set up is we have what we call our action teams, and that really allows people to work in a small group cooperative setting focused on, I like to say, their environmental passion. So we have our Water and Natural Resource Protection Team that deals a lot with habitat and ecosystem restoration. They also do a lot to protect our most important natural resource here in McHenry County, our groundwater. We don't utilize Lake Michigan to get our drinking water, so that is an incredibly important resource to life here. We have our recycling action team. They are accredited with bringing curbside recycling to the state of Illinois. So we develop lots of different community events and outlets for people to properly recycle those items that they need to give a new life, if you will. We have our waste reduction team that focuses on eliminating single-use plastic and also bringing food scrap composting opportunities to the residents here. We have our transportation action team that focuses on safe and continuous trails for people in McHenry County to utilize. They're also a great advocate for renewable energy or alternative fuels. We have our fundraising team that helps kind of spread the word about what we do in our work, and then also our outreach team that you will see at tabling events, and they create kind of fun and unique ways to bring people together to learn about the Defenders. We also operate 2 used bookstores. If you've ever visited one, we have the Green Read in Crystal Lake, and we have the Green Spot in Woodstock. The Green Spot in Woodstock recently moved into our former office, so I invite any of you guys to come out and take a look at our new bookstore. The way it's set up, I find it to be incredibly welcoming and inviting. That's another way that we can get the word out about the work that we do here in McHenry County, but it also takes in small donations of books, and then we're able to use those funds to help with our mission, and then also divert material from going into our landfill. Our members, like I said, our members and our volunteers are so important to us because we do not get money from the county, we don't get money from state or federal dollars, so we really rely on our membership dues. We also rely on grants and donations from the community. So I am here kind of trying to spread the word. I will be here after the service. I'd love to have further discussion with you all about the work that we're doing and ways that we can partner. I want to thank Tree of Life for being nonprofit members of the Defenders, but we'd also love your households to become members of our organization as well, because I think when we talk about environmental issues, they become overwhelming. People think that they can't make a difference, and I think the way that the Defenders relies on our volunteers. We also get that feedback about community needs or programs that we need to develop. So it's a really nice kind of communal way we can come together and tackle some of these very kind of important and large issues together. We live in an incredibly unique landscape here in McHenry County, and we can all work together to do our part to keep it as preserved as possible. So thank you guys for your time, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak a little bit about the organization that I'm from. Thank you.
Thank you, Erin. As we receive the offering today, know that anything that is not designated as a pledge offering, all undesignated offerings will go to the McHenry County Defenders. That's for cash. If you'd like to write a check to benefit the Defenders, make sure that you write second Sunday. I know it's the third Sunday. This used to always happen on the second Sunday, so it's still called second Sunday, but write second Sunday on your check, and then you will know that that check will go to this cause. We will now collect the offering. Looking for where it says, your generosity to Tree of Life is greatly appreciated. And as always, we give thanks for these gifts and for all of the gifts that you bring.
And now, please rise, in body or in spirit, for our final hymn and big celebration. Lean on Me, hymn number 1021, led by the Wailin Mahalias.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Call me, yes, sister, now call me. When you
Call
know
me,
me,
sister.
call me. Oh,
And call the
sister,
brother.
call me. My brother, call me. Oh, baby, now call me. Call me.
Can I just say that I am happy to be here today in the best community to be being leaned on in the county. I love you all. That was wonderful. Thank you. And now I will extinguish the chalice. If you have a chalice or flame at home, you can do the same. We extinguish this flame of communal worship and now carry its light within us. We share this light, we carry its warmth to all whom we meet.
May we find space in our hearts to listen to life, to listen to each other, and to know ourselves as cherished. May we share these wondrous gifts wherever there is need. Go in joy, go in peace, go in love.